What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Aloha. These people over here jumping off the bridge here. Crazy. There's water down there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about inflation. I told you guys. I told you. We've been talking about this for the last 5 months, and I've been going over CPI scores with you every month. And now we see inflation is starting to rise. So latest numbers came out, and I'm going to post this video probably the next day because I'm recording it late afternoon in Hawaii, which is 3 hours ahead of everyone else in the US, actually 6 hours ahead of the East Coast. But nonetheless, we have the numbers, and it's 2.7% for CPI. Core inflation was at 2.9%. So this, when it comes to core inflation was pretty much on track. I think it was a little less than the estimate. When it comes to regular CPI inflation, we're going to talk about the difference between the two and why CPI inflation for some of us is a big deal. But CPI, regular CPI, was over what the projections were. So 2.7 is not good considering last month, year over year, was 2.4%. So you see that increase. And the reason why this is crucial and the reason why everyone's starting to pay attention is because if we continue to see inflation rising, where are people going to be? Where are people going to be 3-4 months down the road if we continue to see it rising? And so I'll go over the numbers, the details. I'll do that in a separate video. I'm going to need to sit down and go over all the numbers. That way it's easier for me to talk about with you guys. But you guys might hear the water. I'm right up by the beach. But I do just want to talk about what are we going to see in the future? Because this is a very, very scary time. Because some experts are saying that we haven't even seen tariffs yet. That's not what we're looking at right now. What we're looking at is just the last couple of months, we've seen things slowly rise. And once the tariffs start really impacting us, then it's going to just shoot up, skyrocket. But right now, it's not good. And if we're looking at, let's just think of it this way. When it comes to core inflation, they're saying, well, look, core inflation didn't really rise that much. It only rose from 2.8 to 2.9%. Now, when they're looking at core inflation, they're talking about inflation, but they're taking out food and energy. Now, why is food and energy, why are they important? Energy, not so much, because energy is going to fluctuate a lot. And the reason why they use core inflation is because core inflation isn't as volatile as if we're using regular inflation, because regular inflation has the energy and food incorporated in it. So if you take those out, then you get kind of more of a streamlined number that's not going to be really volatile. But when it comes to food, that's something that every day we eat. This is a necessity. This is something that we have to have. And so when you see numbers when it comes to food going up, that means when you go to the grocery store, guess what? Things are going to be even more expensive. That means when you go to a restaurant, things are going to be even more expensive. And so that's why when they're looking at core inflation, yes, we should look at core inflation. And the Federal Reserve loves to look at core inflation when they decide to make their changes. But you also need to look at the CPI, regular CPI, because regular CPI is going to show you, okay, we have a problem here when it comes to food. Food is way too expensive. And people have been saying this for years. This was, I think, one of the big problems with how the Biden administration handled inflation, because they were on record saying that, oh, inflation, we've got it under control. We've got it under control. It's coming down. Prices are coming down. But the reality was, yes, inflation was coming down in certain areas, but when it came to food, it wasn't coming down. And so people were still feeling it. They would go to the grocery store and they would see these prices that were really, really high. And so we're going to see more of that. I mean, we're seeing it already, but it's going to be even worse. And I've been trying to warn people. You guys know, just check out my videos just a couple months ago where I was talking about inflation and how we're not seeing it yet, but I said, buckle up. And now we're starting to see it. And so we'll just have to see and hope that they can figure out some kind of way out of this, because the reality is we have inflation going up. We also have unemployment going up. So is that stagflation? Are we in a situation now where it's going to be really hard to control? Because what the Federal Reserve would do in a situation where we started to see inflation is they would try to slow our economy down by raising interest rates. And that's what they did during the Biden administration. They raised interest rates. It slowed the economy down. It made it less desirable to borrow money. And so it really impacted spending. And so that brought our inflation back down. But when you're in a situation where unemployment is going up and inflation is going up, then what do? You can't cut interest rates, because if you cut interest rates, that is going to make it more desirable to spend, more desirable to borrow money and spend. And that's going to make inflation go up even higher. And so we're in a real tricky situation right now. Of course, President Trump's out there saying Federal Reserve needs to cut interest rates. He keeps saying that, but it's just not, it's not a good thing to do at this point. And if they do decide to cut interest rates right now, it's going to be even more expensive for all of us. So I don't know what the future is going to look like when it comes to where we're going with inflation and what they're going to be doing. But right now, I said this just a minute ago, it's a scary time. We don't know what's going to happen. And when it comes to, I did want to talk a little bit about Social Security, because COLA, we're starting to look at COLA numbers, because this is the month, July, August, September. Those are the months that they're going to use to calculate COLA. They're going to use the CPIW. Now, when it comes to, and I didn't check the CPIW, so I'll put it on the screen here so you guys can see what that was. So just did the research. CPIW for June 2025 was 2.6%. So just a little bit below that 2.7% that we saw for the overall CPI. That was for June, but June doesn't count. July, August, September, those are the months that count, but it'll kind of give you a pattern of where we're headed. Okay, so when it comes to CPIW, they're going to use that now. CPIW rises, that means that COLA for next year, for 2026, is going to be more. So you'll get more with your COLA increase. However, it's a catch-22, because you can get more, but that just means that inflation is higher. And generally, COLA doesn't keep up with inflation. And so even though you're getting more, you're still not going to be above the game, because just like we saw back in 2022, 2023, or actually 2021 and 2022, we saw them do the calculations for COLA, and it was high. One was 5.7% and 8 point something percent. You saw the COLA, so you saw a large COLA increase, but it still didn't keep up with inflation. And you still had people that were really struggling. So this is going to continue. And so the only thing that we can do at this point is, if you have an opportunity to save money, try to save money. If you have an opportunity to get deals on certain things, go after those deals, because it's not going to get any better. I've told people before, if you're in the market to buy a car, let's say your car might not make it to the end of the year, maybe consider buying a car now. Don't wait for a couple of months, because in a couple of months, the price of those cars could really increase. Right now, what a lot of companies have done is they've been planning for this. They've had a little bit of time. And so they are stocking up on as much product as they can right now before the full tariffs really start to hit. Because once that happens, they know once they run out of those products, prices are going to go up. And so this is where we are right now. Oh, look at the doggy dog. Hopefully he's not a mean dog. Ay, qué rico. Pit bull. I used to have a pit bull when I was a kid. Wow, look at this sun rays coming through the sky there. You can see that. Very nice. So, yes, this is where we are. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm out here in Hawaii. If you guys didn't know, if you didn't catch my last video, I'm out here enjoying a little vacation, and I'll be headed to another destination in about a week. I'll be going back to my second home. So if you guys watch my channel, you know where my second home is. I'll be going back to my second home, and I'll be enjoying that time. But yeah, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about CPI. I'll do another video where I'll give you some more details as far as I'll take a look at all the different food categories, and we'll see where the prices have increased in the food section. But this is not good news. So I just wanted to bring that to you. And if you guys have questions, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have an idea for a video, let me know. Send me an email, david@thetecshow.com. That's all I have for today. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.